All right, Phil. So we've got a deck here that is super exciting to me. So this is a deck that came in 4th place in the European Crossroads event, and it uses Pathfinder. So let's talk about Pathfinder first as a avatar, and then we'll talk about what the deck is doing here. So Pathfinder
is Pathfinder's not one of the originals.
Pathfinder is one of the originals. Yes, Pathfinder is from the beta set, alpha beta. So your atlas can't contain duplicates, thus the long site list here. Draw no sites during setup, so you don't even get to start with sites in your hand. You just start with 3 regular cards, right? Then you can tap and reveal and play the topmost site of your atlas on an adjacent void or rubble and move there.
So instead of tapping to draw a card and then choosing to play a site, you just never actually. So the way that this works and why it's powerful is you just always get to draw from your spell book, because the activation of this is always just going to ramp the site onto the board.
And Phil, it's moving. So and free not moves. Only are you not having to tap to draw from your or ever draw a site, but you're also only moving all the time too. So it gives you a lot of leeway to do things like kind of mess with where opponents are. Some versions of the deck will play movement spells that can like move your Pathfinder around the board so you can cut your opponent off. And this one might have stuff like that. I haven't looked at everything, but what I really love about this deck, Phil, is that it plays a different strategy than we're kind of used to seeing in Sorcery. It plays site destruction. So 2 of the main cards that it plays are these auras. Hamlet's Ablaze, which is an elite aura that you can conjure atop elite auras or sites. So this goes directly onto a site, doesn't go on across. At the start of your turn, destroy this site and the minions atop it and Castles Ablaze. So you just, boom, everything dies there, including the site, which is huge because now you're playing land destruction, right?
Yeah, and then it's Stone Rains.
Yeah, exactly. But it's Stone Rains on the next turn, right? Which is important because at the start of your turn, it's Stone Rains, and then you have your turn to put a site there.
Well, it's Stone Rains doing what you just said, but also it's removal.
It is removal as well, but people are probably going to move their guys off that site.
But that's also because you can't move all of your minions all in one turn, right? You get to move once.
You can move all your minions. If you got 12 minions on that site, you can move all of them off.
Oh, so every minion can move once every turn?
Yes. Yeah.
See, I'm still learning. I'm over here looking at cards, being like, okay, well, movement +1's really good.
No, it's not like chess. Great. Yeah. You get the movement +1 is like you can move 1 and then again, like it gets to move twice.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so Hamlet's Ablaze. Castles Ablaze does that. Then there's Hamlet's Ablaze, which can target an ordinary or exceptional site, and it does the same thing.
So this stuff, like every time we do these deck breakdowns, I just love how you can tell how much of the design is in the like flavor of what would actually happen. Like if the castles were ablaze and so atop the site, so the castle lights on fire, everybody of course would be running out of the castle to like wherever else.
Yeah,
and then the castle would go down, and everybody has now moved away. Like the flavor of that is just like so well captured in. Like not just because of what like in the card, but like you can tell like, okay, what would be the behavior of this design? Yeah. And so that's captured into the flavor, which I find to be very beautiful. Yeah.
It's beautiful. All right. So we've got Castles Ablaze and Hamlet's Ablaze. These are 6 cards in the main deck that just nuke sites.
And then also the flavor of you can play this is an ordinary aura. Mm-hmm. And it's because you can play it on ordinary sites, and that's where like the peasants live. They live in the hamlets.
Ordinary and exceptional.
And then the castles that are of unique and whatever, and like the class systems or whatever of the realm. It's just like it's just so clean. It's just so pretty.
Yeah. It's very someone protect this game. It's perfect. Okay, so then we're playing Philosopher's Stone. We know Angel's Egg. Let's talk about how this deck works, sort of like a stacks deck does in Magic the Gathering, Phil. You've got Magellan's Globe. Opposite edges of the realm are connected, so that allows you to like move either from the sides or the top with your Pathfinder to get to where you want to go, right?
And it's interesting too, because like you can tell, even though you are allowed to play 2 copies, that this is something that this deck definitely wants to find, even me as a noob, because if there were 2 of these in play, nothing would change. They don't stack. This is not
they don't stack.
it would be a redundant effect. So the fact that you're packing a redundant effect into your spell book shows just how much you want the ability.
Yeah. And part of that is also the fact that you are never drawing sites. So like there's no reason your avatar can't even put sites into play that way. So there's never a reason for you to put in sites. So that you'll get 3 to 4 cards over your opponent if it's just that your sites aren't always the ideal site to put down, right? It's random, right? All right. So like I said, we've got Angel's Egg. Then we have Maddening Bells, Phil. Spells cast by a nearby spellcaster cost 2 more to cast. So
the question I'm going to ask that I ask every time as I beat it into my head until I get some more games in, nearby is a king's move.
Nearby is a king's move, yeah. And so you can put this on a minion of yours, or you can just put it on your avatar and move your avatar around towards your opponent as like a stacks piece.
But then
now it'll affect you as well. Affect you. But yeah.
So Maddening Bells will be symmetrical in that regard.
Yeah. But remember, we're destroying our opponent's sites, placing our sites on top of them, right? Like your deck is set up well to put yourself into a situation where your opponent is down on mana, as it were, and sort of mana screwed. And then you're also just like making it that much harder. Just like Sphere of Resistances in Magic the Gathering.
And kind of the flavor of a Pathfinder just like bouncing all around the board, shaking, like chiming these bells is kind of creepy.
Yeah, sure.
So
let's talk about,
just so I know, this being an elite relic, a relic, you have to play a relic on a minion, right? You
correct.
Can't
on a minion or on your avatar.
Right, but
relics are carried, monuments are not carried.
Yeah, but you can't place a relic on a site that doesn't have your own minion. Like it has to be on a minion.
I honestly don't know. Like you can't just cast it on your opponent's spot. That's for sure. But I'm pretty sure that you can't cast this just on like one of your own sites and just like not have anything to put it onto. I think you do need a target.
There's a bunch of spellcasters my opponents have that are nearby my site. I'm gonna drop this on the ground, and it's gonna affect all of them, right?
Yeah.
Like that you can't.
You can drop it. I'm not positive if it still works if you drop it. That's a great question, and I'm sure someone in the comments is going to let us know. We've had I'm forgetting their name. I Am Tib has been amazing in the comment section to let us know the rulings that we're asking. So last time you asked about pawn, and they let us know. Let's see here. You can even use pawn on like Warhorse because Warhorse is a beast. And there was a ton of there was like a couple other comments that it came in on. Actually, here it is. Frogamago hit us up last time. You were asking about, can you cast the frogs in any particular situation? Where can you put them? You can put them anywhere you want.
Anywhere
you want. Another card that does this is called Raise Dead. Anything that says summon a minion can summon those minions anywhere. Kind of weird, but sometimes it comes up.
There's something that you can summon to only your sites, right? You can't summon to your opponent's sites.
Well, for that you can summon to anywhere. For Plague of Frogs.
Okay, but you can't. So if you're summoning something, it can go anywhere. But if you're casting minions,
a minion, that has to be.
It has to only be on your site.
You have to put it on your site, unless it says can only be cast to water sites, or can only be cast to empty, something like that.
Assuming that there's no other caveat,
there's no rule breaking. Yeah.
You can't, like, if you and I are playing against each other, and you play your first site, and I then play my first site, I can't cast my thing all the way onto your site.
Correct.
Because that would make no sense. How did you teleport across the realm? Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the minions in this deck. We have Bosk Troll, just a 2 mana, 3 power guy, just an ordinary dude.
Man, what a world this game is that you still can play vanilla creatures to legitimate effect.
Do you remember Spectral Bears? There you go. All right, Sacred Scarabs. This used to be a card that you would get with the Highland Falconeer because it's an airborne beast, and it would cost 2 less, right? This has a death right of deal 3 damage to each unit here. So that's a great way to like just get like you could attack into a Dapro Vampire and this dies,
And then
so
Flag Storm
Dapro
it then,
Vampire. Yeah. You've got Warhorse, of course.
We know it. Yep.
Of course.
Okay, so this so Pathfinder is also a pretty aggressive strat.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're going under, right? This is like Arc Ravager shops, right?
I see.
Yeah. Wayfaring Pilgrim. Wayfaring Pilgrim is a 2 and a threshold, one red threshold, 1 fire threshold for 1. But whenever it enters each corner, for the first time, you draw a card.
Yo, so this thing you just want to move it around the board that way you can draw cards?
Yeah.
Yo, I want that.
But remember,
I
Phil,
don't like playing minions already, but I like that minion.
Remember, Phil, Magellan's Globe.
Oh my gosh, so this is just draw an additional card every turn?
So if you think about it, right, you've got the square here, right? And then you go, I'll play it on my
corner, draw a card.
Already, draw a card, right? Then you can go to over here and draw a card. Then you can go to over here and draw a card. And then you can go to over here and draw a card.
Yeah, so it's 2
Pretty
mana,
cool, right?
draw 4 cards.
Yeah, that's
over 4 turns.
sick.
It's Howling Mine, bro.
Yeah. So there's 3 of those.
Yo, why aren't I playing that? Am I playing that?
You're not. No.
Why am I not playing that? That's so
because
busted.
it's a fire spell.
But dude, it's 4 cards. I'll play some. I'll risk it. I'll play some fire for 4 cards.
Morgana Le Fay, of
course.
My girl. We know her well. A Root Spider. We've talked about Root Spider before.
Wait a minute. I play Morgana Le Fay. I can totally.
You do play Morgana Le Fay. I
can totally play Wayfaring Pilgrim.
I'm gonna
make some changes.
Pilgrim.
I'm making some changes. I understand that you handed me the tier 1 deck that wins, but I'm gonna make changes to make it worse.
All right. Root Spider, of course. Siege Giant. And we know Root Spider is like the control card, right? Here's a cool one, Phil. Siege Giant. Once on your turn, Siege Giant may throw a weaker ally to through the air to a nearby location.
So this is a way that essentially
it can help
you
the
get
Wayfaring Pilgrim, right?
So you can get like extra moves, essentially.
Yeah.
So it's like you can move. If let's say you have your Siege Giant on a site, and then you have another minion, and you move it onto the same site as the Siege Giant, then you can activate the Siege Giant to like move it again. So it sort of gives movement +1 to minions.
Yes, correct.
That's pretty cool.
Ashlyn Phoenix. This is one I don't think you've seen yet. This is a 5 mana and 2 fire threshold for a 4. Airborne Beast. If it would take damage from a fire spell or ability, it gains +1 power this turn instead. So it's hard for your opponent to remove it because it actually has a 5 power, right? If your opponent tries to do something like Firebolts, those are 3 different instances of that spell.
So it blanks them all.
It blanks them all, right? But it also grows it in power. So let's think about it like this. Let's say you need to do 7 damage to your opponent. You could Firebolt your own Ashlyn Phoenix, swing in for 7.
Instead of just Firebolting the opponent.
Well, let's say you're not within line of sight of the opponent, but you're in line of sight of the Phoenix, right? The Phoenix has airborne.
Oh, yeah, true. And your Pathfinder is going to be moving around a lot.
Yeah. And your Phoenix has airborne, So that just an interesting, like, this card's not amazing, but it does give you this, like, option of, like, turning your burn spells into a way to, like, pump your guy if you can't, like, angle it right at your opponent.
It's also pretty good if you were doing the attack into the chump attack. So, like, you could Scarab, chump attack, it dies.
Well,
slide storm the board.
It's fire spells, not
or
fire
ability.
effects.
It says fire spell or ability.
Or abilities. Oh, good call.
So you can Scarab Swarm, Slag Storm that area, pump the Ashglance Phoenix, and then get in there.
Sure can, yeah. We have Rebex. It's a unique giant. All nearby allied giants have charge. So
charge is just haste, right? Like
charge is haste. Yeah.
It's just haste. Okay.
So that allows your siege giant to get some licks in a little bit faster. He's a 5/4. I don't love this interaction. Like, this card is like 5 mana for a 4 power guy. It doesn't even have charge. He just gives other guys charge. I'm not sold on that as the spot for this guy. Because you're not really playing any other giants here. You're just playing those 3 siege giants. Now, if you get to play this guy first and then the siege giants, it's sweet to swing in fast. But I don't know. In my opinion, there might be better choices here. Then you have the Infernal Legion. This is the Elite Undead. at the end of your turn, deal 3 damage to each other adjacent unit.
Yes,
so
this is also really
up,
good
down,
with the
left,
Phoenix.
right, a rook's move, right? Everything adjacent to this thing is just taking fire.
Great with the Phoenix.
Great with the Phoenix.
Oh, but it's at end of turn, so it's not like you can get in.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Phoenix doesn't die.
It won't kill the Phoenix, right?
Yeah.
That's important. And then Death Dealer. Of course, we all know Death Dealer. We love him. Then, okay, so let's talk about the magic in this deck. We have 5 assorted animals. Two assorted animals. Just next spell that goes through your deck and gets beasts that cost X or less. So you pay 5, you can get 5 beasts.
No, combined mana cost.
Sorry.
So you can get, if they were all 1/1, if they were all 1 mana beasts, you could get 5 beasts.
Correct.
For 5 mana.
Yeah. So if you spend like 7 mana, though, you could be like, oh, I'll get an Ashland Phoenix and I'll get a Scarabs.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So you can create some card advantage out of this. You've also, the Root Spider is a beast. That's it.
Yeah.
And your Warhorse is a beast too.
The power of a tutor to find what you need, even if you have to pay the mana up front, is pretty good. If you just start like,
especially
I need a removal
in a game,
spell, so
it's a little slower, right? So like this is a card advantage engine as well.
Yeah, and you can get to the point where I imagine you're like, I just need to disable all these units. So you're like, I'll pay 6 just to, Root Spider out of my library.
Well, keep in mind, you're going all over the board and ruining your opponent's mana situation, right? You're going to have more mana than your opponent. You're also stifling them a little bit. There will be a point where you might want to reload. And so if you have like 10 or 12 mana, right? Why not get like three creatures? Go get they've got to be different beasts. So like you could go like Scarabs, Warhorse, and
anything.
Phoenix, Root Spider, Phoenix, Warhorse, something like that. Like getting 3 cards, drawing 3 for a bunch of mana might not be the worst thing you can do that turn.
Is Wayfaring Pilgrim exceptional?
Not a beast.
He is exceptional. Okay, I was going to say, like, there's no way that not playing the max amount of that is correct.
Common sense, of course. We all know common sense.
We know that this is incorrect. You can't be playing 3.
Yeah,
can't be playing 3.
I feel like you want 4, but I mean, this person came in 4th place in a Crossroads event.
4th place ain't first, bro. Common sense. 4 of.
Yeah. Let's go back to there. Okay, we have Firebolts. Of course, we've spoken on Firebolts several times. Unravel, destroy all artifacts and undead minions at a location up to 2 steps away. So that can be like a nice little silver bullet for undead minions, but also like sometimes you just need to get rid of an artifact.
I think having a shatter as part of your common sense tutor package is totally reasonable.
Of course. Border Militia, another ordinary card. Summon a foot soldier token to each site you control that borders an enemy site.
So the soldiers are 1/1, just 1/1 vanillas?
Just 1/1s. Yep. Barry as a 2 of course, for our common sense targets. Earthquake.
So Barry is Barry target minion or artifact. Oh, so that's just straight up a removal spell. You don't have to be anywhere.
Exactly. You're just like, boop, that guy's gone.
Yeah, it's terror.
Yeah. Then we have Earthquake, of course. Earthquake is a great, like a small board wipe kind of situation, but it also will let you rearrange your sites. And in this deck, that might actually be important sometimes when you're...
Oh, yeah, you move the maddening bells around.
Yeah, well, no. The site itself, too, though. Getting to move the site, because you don't have control over where you're playing your sites, you're just pulling off the top of the deck. This will allow you to change where some of your sites are of your opponents, especially if you're getting rid of your opponent's guys and then and then getting to like rearrange some of your sites. It's actually pretty important to be able to do that sometimes.
2x2 is just a 4-block square.
Yep, exactly. Poison Nova, know it, love it. 1 damage lethal to every other nearby minion. And then Major Explosion as a finishing card, which just is, it can ruin people's days. If you're able to cast Major Explosion and just blast your opponent with a 7 to end the game, great. But a lot of times you can wipe the board with this. If you're setting it up properly, you can do it so that you can make sure that some of your guys stay alive. Hey, maybe you're hitting an Ashland Phoenix for 3 and then killing everything else around it. and swinging in for 5 on your opponent that turn. And then let's talk about the most, I don't know if I want to say the most important part of the deck, but certainly the most interesting part of the deck is it's 30 different sites. So you really got to play up the utility on this particular site deck. So we got Annual Fair. That's going to help you with all your threshold needs. Arid Desert. All deserts just deal 1 damage when they enter to each minion atop a nearby site. Can't set it up, which is a sort of a bummer, but sometimes you hit, and that's great.
In fact, just so we know, this deck is before the Gothic change of
correct,
where it's going to go from this is
50, 30. It'll be 60, 30,
10,
and 10.
So when we get together for the Crossroads event in Baltimore, we're going to have to update our deck.
No, that won't happen until December 5th.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm happy to get some reps in before then.
Yeah, exactly. A lot is going to change then, for sure. All right, Bonfire. You may destroy all weapons and armor nearby.
Weapons and armor, so those are subtypes that would be listed on the cards.
They are subtypes. Common Village. So the villages all have this ability where you can pay 1 to summon a foot soldier. This is the common beta site for Earth. Dwarven Forge. Anyone may conjure weapons and armor here for 1 less. We don't have any weapons and armor. I'm a little confused about why that card is in this deck. Because it seems like it's just upside for your opponent if they have weapons and armor in their deck.
Well, you can't have any duplicates.
I know, but like...
So if you're like, I need a ratio of fire producing sites.
Sure. But what I'm thinking is I wonder if there is a better choice, you know?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's a site that doesn't affect us, but we're also limited by the restriction of 1 of anything, then I'm like, okay, well, if the effect isn't what matters, then it's got to be the threshold that matters, and so you just need to fill out your...
Forge. You may pay 1 to conjure a Lance token here.
Lance token is what?
Lance token is a artifact. It's a weapon that allows you to... So when someone picks up a lance, they have a Lance token. And until they strike, they have first strike, basically. And they get +1 to that strike, and then the lance breaks.
Okay, so it essentially gives them a +1 power first strike on the first time they attack.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it also when they intercept?
Yeah, correct.
So the first time in combat.
First time in combat, yep. Funeral Pyre. Banish up to 3 cards from 1 cemetery. Love that. Use it all the time. Gnome Hollows. This is an interesting one because Gnome Hollows is one of those, I like to call it a front site. It's a site you generally don't play on your back row. But this is units with 3 or more power can't enter this site. Sometimes you can just hide there. If like your opponent has a bunch of big guys, you can just kind of sit there and be like, well, you're not going to be able to get me.
Again, the flavor's so good.
Yeah. Holy Ground. Each avatar nearby heals 3 life. I mean, you're going to be nearby. It's always you're putting it in, so you're going to get that for sure. Humble Village. We know villages. We just spoke on villages. Mirage. When played, you may return a site you play to your hand and play this site in its place. Huh.
So this lets you pick up Genesis, but you can't put any sites into play with Pathfinder, right?
Yeah, I don't know if that's right where you want to be. Maybe we're just missing some good. Maybe someone in the comments tell me, is there any interaction with this deck that I'm not seeing with Mirage? Because it seems like you're just going down a land to play this card.
Is there an effect that lets you put in a site?
Like not in this deck. I didn't see one. No, I didn't see anything like that. Yeah, I'm not sold on playing Mirage in this deck.
The art's beautiful though.
The art is very beautiful. Let's keep going. It's like the back version of that like meme where the woman's like, okay, Mirror Realm. This is Vesuva. You just get to copy another nearby site, which is, not great when you're pulling out the top of your deck, but like sometimes you just need to do what you need to do, right? Pillars of Xeros. This is one I don't think you've seen yet, Phil. This used to be a big staple back in the day.
It seems
Banish
very good.
all dead minions, and you heal 1 life for each.
Yeah, it's It costs 2 and a black, and it's an instant magic that lets you exile all creatures from a graveyard and then gain 3 life for each. And it's really it's really powerful in the decks that like as a sideboard option. I know the power of this thing, and I also know that like after playing against you, where we just had Angel's Egg in play, how powerful life gain can be.
Yeah. Also, it used to be that the Death Speaker deck was the tier 1 meta deck, so this was like a great foil to that deck. All right, Poisoned Well. Enemy avatars lose 1 life for each nearby site they control.
So yeah, so you plot this down, and this could theoretically deal if you like somehow got to the position where you just like they had King's move of sight.
They just didn't have anything in the middle. You can do 8 damage to them.
Well, I thought you can Stone Rain the middle site.
Sure. You're right.
And then dome them for
come in 8. For 9, for 8. Yeah, for 8. All right, Quagmire. Genesis, until your next turn, units are immobile while they occupy nearby sites. Okay. Just stops people from being able to move. Red Desert.
So Quagmire is pretty good if you play the Quagmire next to where you are going to play one of your Stone Rains.
Yes, but that's actually a really good point, because then if you hit the Quagmire, right, everything's immobile, and then you're like, cool, I'm just going to put this here, and then I'm going to blow out everybody with either Hamlets Ablaze or Castles Ablaze. Good call on the interaction there. Yeah. Desert, another Red Desert does 1 damage, right? Remote Desert does 1 damage. River of Flame, a fire spellcaster. Ruins, for that dual land efficiency there. Rustic Village, villages make foot soldiers for 1 mana.
So why are there so many different villages, all of which
there are
ordinary?
4 of each different ordinary site, Phil.
That all do the same thing.
That all do the same thing, yes.
So you theoretically could just play like, I'm the foot soldier deck, and I got 12 lands, 12 sites that make foot soldiers.
You very well could. Yeah.
That's a lot of redundancy.
It is a lot of redundancy. If you just want to be the guy who just makes 1/1s, but then gets blown out by deserts. Yeah, okay. Secret Tunnel. Burrowed allies may move as if they were adjacent to your other sites.
So burrowed allies can move as though they were adjacent to your other site. So this like lets you teleport lets you teleport your root spiders.
Yeah, you could move your root spider to here, from here to anywhere else on the board.
If it's adjacent to this. Or adjacent to your other sites.
As this were adjacent to your other sites. It's a secret tunnel, Phil.
Burrowed allies can move as if this were adjacent.
Yeah, it's a secret tunnel. You can teleport them all over the board.
Oh, so they don't actually have to like pass through this thing.
No, they're just if they're on this and they move off, they can go to anywhere else. Technically, there's a secret tunnel to every other spot on the board.
Yeah, it's really hot.
Yeah. Shifting Sands. Reactivate the Genesis ability of your nearby deserts. This is a little hit or miss, for sure.
Yeah, so Shifting Sands can, if it's nearby a bunch of deserts, they all go off all together.
Yeah.
And the deserts only deal the damage to that site, or
adjacent? to one chosen adjacent site. It deals 1 damage to everything that's on that site. Simple Village, another foot soldier village situation. Sinkhole is your wasteland here. Sinkhole you can sacrifice to destroy a nearby site. Smokestacks of Neck. Other nearby sites lose their abilities. It's an interesting one.
No, I can get the, I have played many spreading seas in my day, so I understand the value of taking away the powerful site abilities.
Yeah. We got Steppe, another dual land. Valley of Delight, that lets you choose which threshold you're going to have it represent. Varmint Warrens, beasts here can't be targeted by enemies. So that basically makes it so that your beasts have Shroud, or I guess Hexproof.
Yeah.
Vesuvius, for if you have 3 fire threshold, when this you can sacrifice this and deal 3 damage to each unit occupying nearby sites.
And this thing provides a third of what it's asking you already.
Correct, yes. And then finally, it doesn't cost any mana. It's just like, if you have it, you can do it.
Yes. A Site run for free is pretty powerful.
Yeah. And then finally, Wasteland. Your atlas may include any number of wastelands.
Okay, so this is even though it's ordinary, it's really like
I feel like
mass ordinary. You can.
I feel like that's better than the what's it called the.
No, you can't have duplicates.
Oh, that's right.
Can't always beats can.
Which one? Yeah. No, that makes
always
sense.
beats can.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, Phil, that's the deck. This is an interesting one because it's kind of like an aggro shops deck from like Magic the Gathering. You got the land destruction. You're kind of playing Panza. I don't know, man. I'm excited to try and build this deck because it just looks fun. Like land destruction. Remember land destruction?
Another one of those decks where, because I'm still the noob, there's like a lot of cards in here that you can tell are positionally powerful. Like in a vacuum, I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. But then like to the extent of how good everything is because a lot of this cares about where you are on the board. Like the only one that like jumps out to me as like very obviously like insane is Wayfaring Pilgrim. Like I have enough wherewithal to understand
your
that
definition of insane and my definition of insane are two
dude
slightly different things.
I can understand that 2 mana draw 4 cards is very powerful. And now I'm just like, okay, I want to play Wayfaring Pilgrim, Magellan Globe in decks where I can like, I don't know, like are there flicker effects or something where I can like make it so that the Wayfaring Pilgrim is new to the realm again to just continue drawing more cards?
I'm sure there are.
Like if you play Wayfaring Pilgrim, Magellan's Globe, and Death Speaker, and then you kill your Wayfaring Pilgrim and reanimate it.
You could reanimate it. Yeah, of course.
That's pretty cool. Bounce a Pilgrim back to your hand, replay it, draw 4 more cards.
Yep. All right. Well,
Zach, hold on. I know you're trying to wrap up, and I'm running the blocks on you.
All right.
Is there any card in this game that cares about you drawing your entire spellbook?
No, not yet. There is no like Thassa's Oracle, Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, Lab Maniac card yet. But you do lose the game if you draw all the cards in your deck.
Okay, so it is the same thing where you lose if you draw everything.
You lose, yeah.
Okay, so you can't do that yet.
Now, what's nice is that you can start drawing from your other deck.
What other deck?
You have 2 decks.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's no reward yet in the game if you draw your entire spellbook and your entire atlas.
Yeah, you can just switch over to drawing from the other deck.
There's not like
you're out of cards.
The all-omniscient wizard of the realm or whatever.
Sure, yeah, of course.
Not yet.
Soon. Maybe in Gothic.
Dude, if Gothic gives us that,
Phil, I want to talk to you about this actually because it's something I hadn't brought up, and it's a fun thing that I think anybody watching that's about to go to a Crossroads event should know about. Phil, I know you don't know about this, but I'm going to ask anyhow. Do you know about Swap? Swap.
No.
Swap is a promo that you get by swapping a card with the TO. Could be a card you make, right? You swap a card with the TO and you get this promo called Swap. And all it does is swap the locations of 2 creatures or 2 artifacts. But
it's an ordinary spell?
Yeah, I think it's exceptional or something. It might be elite. But the important thing is, Phil, is that Chase and Ira have been playing people's swapped cards that are like their designs. So this is your chance to create the all omniscient Lab Maniac.
Wait, hold on. First off, explain who Chase and Ira are.
Chase is the community manager for Sorcery. And Ira is one of the ex-employees that does a lot of work with them for the community, and just does a lot of events and stuff. And so they're often featured on the main channels page.
Okay, so you're telling me that I can design the card that says you win the game if you draw your entire atlas and the entire spell book.
Or you can, maybe make it a little more powerful and just say if you have an empty library, you have an empty one of your 2 decks. I mean, come on. Don't make me draw everything.
Oh, dude, what if there was like, there's that. I'm also thinking there's got to be one that's like, warp the realm or whatever that just like resets the entire board and shuffle all sites into their owners' atlases.
Phil, all I'm saying is that the opportunity is there for you to design a card and put it directly into the hands of an employee that is actually going to look at it.
I'll design ForceofPhil the Omnipotent. It's if you draw your whole if you have an empty spell book at end of turn, you win the game.
There you go.
And
Everyone should do this. If you're going to a Crossroads event, you should design a card to trade for a swap. All you have to do is swap a card for a swap.
You know what would be actually pretty fun, Zach? We should like design our own card, right? But then also design a card for each other.
Sure. I love that. Well, with that said, thank you everybody for watching. Keep contesting the realm, and we'll catch you on the flip.